You begin tonight with a single quiet breath, the kind of breath that doesn't need to impress anyone. A breath that simply carries you from one moment into the next. The room around you is dim, restful, familiar. You let yourself settle into the silence, letting your body sink a little deeper, letting your shoulders relax, letting your mind finally take a seat after a long, busy day. Nothing demands your attention. Nothing is urgent. The world can wait. For now, it is only you, and the universe waiting beyond the sky. As your breathing slows, you imagine yourself gently rising upward. Not with any effort, not with any strain, but with the slow, effortless lift of a drifting cloud. You rise above the floor, hovering just inches off the ground. The air feels cooler, softer. The noise of the day fades beneath you. Your thoughts loosen their grip, one by one, like hands letting go of a rope they were never meant to hold forever. You float upward through the ceiling, passing through it like warm mist. You drift through the quiet darkness of the attic, past wooden beams, past stored memories and old boxes, and then upward again. And then, with a gentle push of silence, you rise through the roof and into the open night sky. The world spreads out beneath you like a sleeping giant. Streets look calm, houses glow softly, and the tiny lights of cars move like drifting fireflies. Even the wind feels slower up here, brushing past you with a cool, comfortable rhythm. You keep rising, moving gently above the rooftops, past treetops swaying in the night breeze, past the last sounds of the waking world. You float into the higher sky, where the clouds drift like immense pillows of vapor. Their tops glow faintly with moonlight, their shadows stretch like soft blankets across the earth. You glide through them, feeling their misty edges slip around you like cool silk. When you emerge above the clouds, it feels like stepping into another world, the world where the sky becomes an ocean, and you are the quiet ship sailing across it. The moon hangs above you, calm and steady, casting its gentle silver across the cloud tops. For a moment, you simply drift toward it, watching its craters and valleys slowly sharpen into view. The moon has always been there, loyal, unchanging, a silent companion of Earth for billions of years. It holds no judgment, no noise, no demands, just the soft glow of a world carved slowly by time. You glide past the moon, close enough to see the powder-like surface, the shadows stretching over ancient craters, the quiet plains where astronauts once walked. Then, with a slow sweep, you drift beyond it. Earth begins to shrink behind you, its blues, greens, and whites blending into a soft marble suspended in the dark. From this distance, Earth looks calm. All the noise and worry of everyday life become invisible. Every argument, every stress, every deadline. They are too small to be seen from here. Earth just spins quietly, wrapped in thin layers of cloud and sunlight, floating like a peaceful jewel in a vast ocean. You continue drifting outward, entering the broad space between planets. The sun shines behind you, a warm golden lantern shrinking ever so gently as you move farther from it. The sunlight here is softer, almost velvety, spreading across space in long rays that fade into deep darkness. Ahead of you floats Mercury, the tiny furnace of rock closest to the sun. Its surface looks scarred and wrinkled, shaped by time and heat. But even Mercury moves gently, following its orbit like a silent stone in a timeless river. There is no noise here, no chaos, just steady, predictable motion, a reminder that nature takes its time and never rushes. Then you glide toward Venus, a glowing orb wrapped in bright yellow clouds. It looks peaceful from afar, a golden sphere drifting in the dark. The sunlight dances softly across its thick atmosphere. You can almost imagine it humming quietly, like a cosmic lullaby. You drift past it slowly, leaving its warm glow behind. Mars soon appears in the distance, glowing faint red like an ember resting at the edge of a fire. You approach it gently, floating above its vast, rusty deserts, and frozen poles. Dust storms swirl silently across its surface. The tallest volcano in the solar system rises below you, its shadow stretching like a sleeping giant. Mars feels lonely, ancient, waiting patiently for its next visitor. You continue your journey, gliding past the asteroid belt. Thousands of rocks drift here like lazy travelers, taking millions of years to complete their orbits. Some are small as pebbles, others as large as mountains, all moving with the same slow, cosmic patience. They don't collide or rush. They simply follow paths older than human memory. Beyond them appears Jupiter, enormous and majestic. Its swirling storms move like brushstrokes on a giant canvas of orange, brown, and cream. The great red spot turns slowly, a storm larger than Earth but as quiet as a held breath. Dozens of moons circle Jupiter, each one gliding along its orbit like dancers following an ancient choreography. Saturn comes next, elegant and luminous. Its rings stretch outward like a frozen halo of ice and dust, revolving in perfect silence. You pass through the plane of its rings, drifting among countless tiny particles that move smoothly together, each one reflecting sunlight like a small star. It feels like floating through a field of glitter suspended in motion. Farther still, Uranus drifts sideways, spinning like a tilted marble dipped in pale blue paint. Neptune waits after it, deep and cool, swirling with winds no human ear will ever hear. But from here, Neptune feels calm and unbothered, living in quiet isolation at the edge of the sun's influence. You move past the final planets, entering the vast outer realm where comets sleep. Their icy bodies rest quietly, frozen for ages, waiting for a distant moment when gravity will pull them inward again. Out here, the sun becomes just another star, a single pinprick glowing in the dark behind you. And now you are free from the solar system. You drift into the wider sea of the Milky Way. Ahead of you, the galaxy stretches across the darkness like a shimmering river of stars. Its spiral arms glow softly in shades of white and silver, curving gracefully around a bright, luminous center. The Milky Way feels alive, but in the way a sleeping giant breathes, slow, rhythmic, peaceful. You glide toward one of the spiral arms, entering a region where stars shine like scattered diamonds. Some pulse with blue light, young and energetic. Others glow softly in orange, aged and gentle. Many have planets of their own, entire systems moving in slow harmony, untouched by noise or tension. You drift past nebulae that glow with pinks, blues, and purples, clouds where new stars are born. Light filters through them like sunbeams passing through stained glass. Every shape shifts slowly, almost imperceptibly, as gravity molds these clouds into the ingredients of future worlds. You pass star clusters sparkling like cosmic lanterns, regions where thousands of stars were born together and still travel side by side across the galaxy. Their light feels warm, comforting, like a campfire at the edge of infinity. Farther in, you begin to approach the galactic center. The density of stars increases. They pack tighter, shining brighter, creating a brilliant glow that spreads outward like a cosmic sunrise. At the heart of it all lies a supermassive black hole, invisible, silent, and steady. It does not rage or devour. It simply holds the galaxy together, letting stars, nebulae, and planets orbit peacefully around it. You watch this central glow from a safe distance, feeling the quiet power of the Milky Way's core. Then you slowly drift away again, moving outward through trillions of miles of calm, dark space. The farther you travel, the more the stars thin out, until you reach the very edge of the Milky Way, a border where the galaxy's light fades into the deep, quiet dark of intergalactic space. You look back at the Milky Way, seeing it now as a glowing spiral suspended in emptiness, turning slowly over millions of years. From here, everything feels still. Everything feels patient. The galaxy spins at its own pace, unconcerned with time, untouched by rush or pressure. And in this enormous quiet, you feel something settle inside you, a sense that you, too, don't need to hurry, that you are allowed to rest, that the universe has room for you to breathe. From the edge of the Milky Way, you float in a space so quiet it feels almost sacred. The galaxy behind you glows like a vast, swirling lantern, a soft spiral drifting through darkness that stretches in every direction without end. Here at the boundary, the stars thin out like the last grains of sand at the shore of an endless ocean. Every point of light is distant, patient, and unhurried. You take a gentle breath, letting the stillness soak into you. The silence is deep, but not empty. It's the kind of silence that feels like listening to your own heartbeat under warm blankets. The universe holds you without asking anything from you. It simply exists, and it allows you to exist right alongside it. As you drift just past the outskirts of the galaxy, you look back and see the Milky Way from one end to the other. Its spiral arms wrap around a glowing core, twisting in long, graceful arcs that look almost like soft ribbons suspended in water. Dust lanes stretch across those arms like gentle brushstrokes of shadow, while billions of stars shimmer through them like tiny lanterns. From this distance, the galaxy doesn't look chaotic. It doesn't look crowded. It looks peaceful, steady, a cosmic city that never rushes. You begin drifting along the outer curve of one spiral arm, following it like a quiet road guiding you through starlight. The stars here are more isolated, spread out like quiet houses along a long rural highway. Each one burns with its own steady rhythm. Some twinkle softly with a warm yellow glow. Others shine sharper, whiter, more energetic. A few burn blue, fierce and young, lighting up their regions like cosmic spotlights. But even those massive blue stars seem calm from here, like distant campfires against a dark horizon. You float deeper along the spiral arm and soon encounter a region filled with enormous clouds of gas and dust. These clouds are dark and thick, blocking the light behind them, forming shapes like mountains made of smoke. But as you get closer, you see faint glimmers shining from within. Stars are being born inside these clouds, not quickly, not loudly, but slowly, over millions of years, each new star forming from the quiet collapse of gas drawn together by gravity. You watch one of these clouds from a distance. It swirls gently, almost like it's breathing. Faint pink light glows from within it, the soft, warm color of hydrogen illuminated by newborn stars. It looks like a lantern wrapped in velvet. A wave of calm rolls over you as you glide deeper into this region, as if even the galaxy itself wants you to slow down, breathe easier, and let go. As you continue your slow drift, you encounter a massive star cluster. Hundreds of thousands of stars shine in a compact sphere, packed together like bright gems in a treasure chest. You drift through the outskirts of this glowing cloud of light. Stars slide past you in silent brilliance. Their light blends like soft fire, casting a warm glow across space. If the universe had a fireplace, this cluster would be it, comforting, steady, and inviting. Farther ahead, you approach a region shaped by ancient supernovas. Massive stars once lived here, burned bright, and eventually collapsed into explosive bursts that scattered their elements across space. But the violence is long past. What remains now is peaceful. Expanding shells of dust drifting outward like ghostly rings, glowing softly with the fading warmth of ancient fire. These shells look like ripples frozen in time, spreading quietly through the dark. You glide through them, feeling the calm of centuries wrapped in every drifting particle. You travel deeper along the spiral arm, and the scenery begins to change again. Ahead, you see glowing blue regions, hot, newborn stars lighting up the gas around them. Their light is clear and sharp, cutting through the darkness like cold fire. Yet you keep your distance, drifting past them at a relaxed pace. The space between them feels like a cool, open field beneath a night sky. Soon, you find yourself approaching a great interstellar void, a massive pocket of space where almost nothing exists. These voids stretch for thousands of light years. They look empty, but they feel gentle, like a wide, open room with soft air and no clutter. You drift into this vast, dark region, letting the emptiness wash over you like a calming tide. There is no pressure here, no rush, just the soft background glow of distant stars dotting the far walls of the void like tiny lanterns in a faraway valley. As you move through the void, the stars slowly shift behind you, forming new patterns. Constellations dissolve and reform in different shapes. The Milky Way's spiral arms curve across the sky like long, slow waves. And all the while, the quiet never breaks. Space holds you gently, like calm water holding a floating leaf. Eventually, at the far end of the void, you approach another spiral arm, one of the outer arms of the Milky Way. This region is older, filled with long-lived stars glowing red and orange. Their light is soft, like the warm glow of candles in a quiet room. As you glide past them, you feel the deep calm that comes with age, the kind of peace that takes billions of years to form. These stars burn slowly, content to glow with quiet endurance rather than bright flames. You drift past giant red supergiants, stars swollen to hundreds of times their original size. Their light pulses gently, like a slow heartbeat. Their surfaces shift slowly, bulging and sinking in a calm, rhythmic pattern. Even these colossal stars feel peaceful from this distance, their warm light spreading across space like the glow of an old lantern on a long porch at dusk. You continue drifting along the arm, and soon you arrive at a region filled with planetary nebulae, shells of glowing gas surrounding dying stars. Each nebula has its own shape, its own colors, its own quiet presence. Some look like delicate flowers made of light. Others look like halos floating in the darkness. Their colors blend in soft blues, greens, pinks, and purples, glowing like stained glass suspended in black. You drift around them, feeling the gentle reminder that everything in the universe changes. Not suddenly, not violently, but slowly, naturally, peacefully. As you glide farther, the stars grow even more sparse, as though the galaxy itself is easing you toward the outer boundary again. The faint glow of the galactic center stretches across the distance like a soft ribbon of silver light. Behind you, the spiral arm twists elegantly, its stars glowing like embers scattered along a long, drifting path. At last, you reach the extreme outer rim of the Milky Way, the thin edge where the galaxy's star fields fade into the deep, dark quiet of intergalactic space. You pause here, hovering just beyond the final stretches of starlight. From this vantage point, the Milky Way looks like an enormous, luminous flower floating alone in a calm, endless pond. You take in its full form, the glowing central bulge, the swirling arms, the faint halos of stars drifting far above and below the central plane. It turns slowly, majestically, with a grace that cannot be rushed. Hundreds of billions of stars, countless planets, entire clouds of dust and gas, all moving together in a dance that takes hundreds of millions of years. And somehow, even at this unimaginable scale, it still feels calm. It still feels patient. It still feels safe. You breathe in the quiet, letting it settle into your mind. You exhale slowly, letting your thoughts loosen and soften. The galaxy rotates in silence, letting you rest here at its edge, supported by the stillness of a universe that has all the time in the world. You rest for a moment at the edge of the Milky Way, letting the entire galaxy stretch behind you like an enormous, glowing horizon. The spiral arms sweep outward in long curves, each one filled with countless suns, like rivers of fire frozen in time. Everything feels unhurried, as though the galaxy itself breathes in a rhythm older than memory. As you drift farther outward, you enter the region known as the galactic halo. this space feels different. There are far fewer stars here, and they appear scattered like solitary lanterns left on the edge of an old countryside. Each one glows faintly, their light softened by distance and time. Many of these stars are ancient, older than the spiral arms themselves. They shine with a quiet wisdom, like elders who have watched the galaxy grow and change across billions of years. You glide through this high, distant region with no effort. The quiet becomes even deeper, settling into your thoughts like a gentle weight that presses nothing, demands nothing. Out here, the galaxy feels thin and spacious. The glow of the Milky Way spreads below you in a soft smear of silver, like a river seen from high above. Ahead, you begin to see globular clusters, massive spheres of stars gathered into tight, bright balls suspended far above the galactic disk. They float around the Milky Way like ancient guardians, each one glowing with tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of old stars packed tightly together. Their light is warm and golden, the color of old fire. You drift toward one of these clusters. From far away, it looks like a bright pearl in the void. As you get closer, the cluster expands into a dazzling sphere of light. Stars crowd together, so close that their combined glow creates a soft radiance that washes over your surroundings. It feels like drifting through a glowing oasis in the middle of an infinite desert. You move slowly through the outer edge of the cluster. Stars pass by you in gentle procession, tiny suns that have burned for nearly the entire history of the universe. Their light flickers softly, steady and reassuring. Nothing moves quickly here. Every orbit, every shift, every beam of light seems to take its time. It is a place where patience has shaped everything. Leaving the cluster, you drift back into the open halo. The Milky Way sits below you now like a glowing coin resting on velvet. The darkness around you feels thick, yet comforting, like a vast blanket drawn across the universe. But even in this deep darkness, there is structure. Something invisible, something quiet, holds everything together. You begin to sense the presence of dark matter, not through sight or touch, but through the way the galaxy behaves. Dark matter forms an enormous, invisible sphere around the Milky Way, stretching far beyond the stars. It does not shine or glow. It does not warm or burn. It simply exists, creating a gentle gravitational pull that holds the galaxy in place. It is the quiet framework of the cosmos, the silent scaffolding that allows stars to move in harmony. You drift through this unseen ocean, feeling its calm presence surrounding the galaxy like soft, unseen hands. The stars in the disk spin too fast to stay bound without dark matter's steady embrace. Yet here they are, secure, supported, and quietly rotating. As you move farther through this invisible halo, the Milky Way grows smaller behind you. It becomes not a horizon now, but a luminous spiral suspended in a wide, empty room. Its arms glow with a soft white haze, each spark representing a sun, a world, a possibility. You pause here for a moment, letting yourself take in the sight. The galaxy is no longer something you live inside. It is something you observe from afar, a calm, beautiful island in an ocean of night. Its soft glow reflects in your mind, reminding you that even things of this scale move at their own gentle pace. Beyond the halo, the darkness becomes deeper, but not frightening. It is the kind of darkness you can rest in, the kind that holds you gently, without weight, without worry. Stars become fewer, scattered like distant candles across a vast field. Each one pulses with its own rhythm, unconcerned with anything beyond its own quiet existence. As you drift even farther outward, galaxies begin to appear in the distance, tiny spirals, faint ellipses. Small clouds of light spread across the dark like seeds scattered across fertile ground. They shimmer faintly, far away, their light taking millions, sometimes billions of years to reach this place. But your focus remains on the Milky Way, slowly shrinking into a soft spiral of luminescence. Its shape becomes more delicate the farther you travel, like a snowflake suspended in an infinite winter. The central bulge glows warmly, the arms twist gracefully, and the halo surrounds it like a faint, ghostly aura. You let your thoughts drift with it. The galaxy feels steady, patient, eternal, and somehow its calm begins to settle inside you too. The scale of it makes every worry, every tension feel small enough to release. The galaxy does not rush. It does not force anything. It simply exists, turning slowly, offering light to the dark. You breathe in deeply. The air feels smoother. Your mind feels quieter. Your thoughts begin to float like dust suspended in sunlight. The Milky Way spins far behind you, but its peaceful rhythm stays with you, like a steady heartbeat whispered across cosmic distance. You continue your slow drift through the halo, knowing the galaxy is still there, glowing, turning, patient, like a quiet reminder that you, too, can rest. You continue gliding through the quiet halo surrounding the Milky Way, floating farther from the spiral glow with each passing moment. The galaxy slowly becomes a shimmering shape in the distance, something gentle, something familiar, something that feels like home even from millions of light years away. Its soft light pulses like a lantern left burning on a porch far behind you. As you drift outward, the stars scatter into wider gaps. The darkness feels deeper, almost thicker, but not heavy. It's the kind of darkness you can sink into, like sinking into warm water. A darkness that holds you up instead of pulling you down. It has a softness to it, a stillness that wraps around you more comfortably the farther you drift. For a while, there is nothing but the slow, steady glow of the Milky Way behind you and the faint sparkles of distant stars far ahead. The space between galaxies is vast, wider than anything the human mind was built to imagine. But something about this emptiness feels peaceful. There's no noise, no chaos, no deadlines. Just the universe taking its time. Ahead of you, you begin to see tiny smudges of light. Not stars, not planets, entire galaxies. Faint shapes scattered like glowing dust across the black canvas of space. They gather into loose patterns, forming the local group, your cosmic neighborhood. You drift toward the first major structure, a small galaxy named the Large Magellanic Cloud. It hangs in the distance like a glowing cloud of silver dust. It's irregular in shape, a little uneven, almost like a lantern made of mist. As you get closer, you see clusters of young stars burning bright blue, glowing like frost in sunlight. Clouds of gas shimmer in soft pink. Everything feels quiet and young, like a cradle where new stars are just learning to shine. You pass through the outskirts of this galaxy, gliding past swirling gas clouds and scattered star clusters. None of them rush. They drift, they glow, they grow slowly over millions of years. Their pace is steady, patient, timeless. And you simply float through it, carried by the calm of a universe that has all the time in the world. Farther ahead floats the small Magellanic Cloud, another companion to the Milky Way. It looks softer, dimmer, like a faint puff of cosmic breath. Its stars are scattered loosely, forming no clear pattern, as if they've wandered into this corner of space and decided to stay because it was quiet enough. You drift around its edge, letting the soft glow brush lightly across you. Leaving both dwarf galaxies behind, you move deeper into the local group. The Milky Way shrinks behind you, but it still glows, its spiral arms now compressed into a delicate swirl of white light. Ahead, a new shape begins to rise, larger and brighter than anything else in this region. It is the Andromeda Galaxy. Long before you reach it, you see its oval glow stretching across the darkness like a distant sunrise. It isn't just bright, it's elegant. A grand spiral with sweeping arms that twist outward like long, luminous waves. From afar, it looks smooth and soft, almost like it could be touched. but its true scale is unimaginable. A trillion stars, billions of worlds, a structure so vast that even light needs millions of years to cross it. You drift closer, and the galaxy expands into an enormous, glowing oval filling your vision. Its core shines bright, golden warm, like the heart of a calm fire. Dust lanes cut across its spiral arms in long, dark ribbons, tracing patterns formed over billions of years. Blue star clusters sparkle in the arms like icy crystals. Pink nebulae glow like lanterns hung in the night. You approach this galaxy the way a traveler approaches a great city at night, watching its light stretch across the horizon. There's a softness to its glow, a feeling that even at this scale, the universe prefers gentle movements. You drift into one of Andromeda's outer arms. The stars here are spaced far apart, each one shining with a patient pulse. You glide past them slowly, letting their light brush over you. You drift past ancient red giants with warm, rusty glows, past young blue stars burning clean and bright, past clusters where hundreds of thousands of stars gather like families. Everything is quiet. Everything is slow. Everything feels safe. Deeper into the galaxy, you pass through regions of star formation, massive clouds glowing pink and purple, swirling like soft watercolor brushed across the dark. These nebulae stretch for hundreds of light years, yet they feel delicate, like drifting petals. Inside them, new stars form silently, slowly waking into existence. You pass by one, then another, moving deeper until Andromeda surrounds you like a cosmic forest. The glow of the galaxy softens your thoughts. The silence stretches into something soothing, something peaceful. Eventually, you slip out of one spiral arm and into the space between them. The main light of the galaxy stretches behind you now, arching across the darkness like a luminous bridge. Ahead, you see the galaxy's outer halo, faint clusters drifting like glowing dust in a bowl of shadow. You move through this region calmly, letting the galaxy shrink behind you just like the Milky Way before it. Andromeda becomes a floating, glowing oval again. Then it becomes smaller, more compact. Then it becomes a shimmering cloud. Then just a bright smudge in the vast dark. As you drift farther, the local group begins to reveal its full shape. Dozens of small galaxies, scattered like slow-moving fireflies across the night. You pass the Triangulum Galaxy, a smaller but beautifully structured spiral. It glows softly, blue stars lighting up its arms like frost catching moonlight. You glide past its outskirts, feeling the gentle hum of its billions of suns. Farther out, even smaller galaxies drift alone, tiny dwarfs, each one a handful of stars quietly orbiting an invisible core. They look fragile, like lanterns barely holding together in a soft wind. Yet they have existed for billions of years. Their endurance is silent but powerful. Leaving the local group, you move out into intergalactic space. Here, the void becomes unimaginably wide. The distance between galaxies stretches far beyond anything in human experience. Yet this emptiness does not feel lonely. Feels peaceful. Feels free. A vast ocean of quiet where nothing is rushed and nothing is expected of you. As you glide forward, the galaxies ahead begin to gather into long strands, cosmic filaments of light stretching across space like threads woven by an invisible hand. These filaments form the large-scale structure of the universe. Clusters of galaxies are arranged like pearls on a string, connected by gravity, glowing faintly across unimaginable distances. You drift along one of these filaments, watching entire galaxy clusters pass slowly by. Each cluster contains thousands of galaxies, all swirling gently around a massive center. Their glow blends into soft haze, like distant cities seen through mist. This structure stretches on and on, a cosmic highway of light and calm. You follow it deeper, letting the stillness fold around you. The galaxies continue to drift past, unhurried, steady. The universe expands around you, pulling everything gently outward, like a slow breath being let out. And somewhere in this vast, peaceful expanse, you begin to feel it again, the same deep calm the Milky Way offered, the same quiet rhythm, the same unshakable patience. As you drift farther away from the familiar neighborhoods of our solar system, the sun begins to shrink into a soft golden spark, no brighter than a lantern seen from miles away on a quiet country road. The planets that once felt so enormous now settle into the background, becoming tiny orbs circling a fading point of light. The entire solar system, which felt impossibly large back home, now looks like a delicate clockwork floating in a vast, peaceful silence. Ahead of you stretches an open sea of cosmic calm. There is no noise here, no rush, no deadlines knocking at your mind. Only the steady hum of existence, like the universe itself is breathing in slow motion. Every direction you look, you see distant stars shining like tiny diamonds sprinkled on velvet. Some glow with a cool blue shimmer, others flicker with warm orange tones. Each one a sun with its own story, its own planets, its own mysteries. As you keep moving outward, you glide into a region astronomers call the local interstellar cloud. It sounds intimidating, but it's incredibly gentle, a thin, soft fog of particles drifting through space, so spread out you could travel millions of miles without touching a single grain. It feels quiet here, almost like being wrapped in the hush of a winter evening. Nothing rushes, nothing demands, everything simply floats. Eventually, you slip out of the cloud and into the broader region around our sun known as the local bubble. This bubble is enormous, hundreds of light years across, carved long ago by ancient stellar explosions. But all you feel here is peace. It's as if the universe has cleared this part of the galaxy to give you room to breathe, to stretch, to just exist without being overwhelmed by the weight of everyday life. Stars sit farther apart in this region, giving you a long, sweeping view of the Milky Way's quiet suburbs. As you move through this calm expanse, you begin to notice larger structures forming around you. Stars are no longer scattered at random. They gather into clusters, elegant, shimmering groups traveling together through the galaxy. One of them, the Hyades, appears like a loose, gentle swirl of ancient stars, glowing softly and moving slowly through space. Another, the Pleiades, shines with blue brilliance, each star wrapped in faint clouds of dust that glow like distant lanterns behind a thin curtain. Passing them feels like walking past tranquil towns on a road trip through the countryside, each cluster with its own personality, its own rhythm, its own quiet beauty. As you continue, you start to sense the true curvature of the galaxy around you. Stars begin to arrange themselves into massive, sweeping lanes of light. This is the Orion Arm, the spiral arm of the Milky Way in which we live. It stretches thousands of light years across, like a glowing river winding through the darkness. Nebulas float within it like cosmic clouds, their colors soft and gentle. The Rosette Nebula opens itself like a giant flower made entirely of starlight. The Lagoon Nebula shimmers like a calm ocean glowing under a phantom moon. Each one is a cradle of creation, a slow, steady reminder that the universe is always building, always renewing, always moving forward in its own patient rhythm. For someone who cannot sleep, or whose thoughts run too fast, these clouds offer a visual lullaby, swirling softly, moving slowly, expanding over millions of years in a dance so gradual you could watch forever and never see a single sudden change. The deeper you move into the Orion Arm, the more the galaxy reveals its scale. You begin to recognize that every star you've seen, every point of light, every glowing ember, is a system as complicated and enormous as our own. Each one has its own history, its own planets, its own potential for life. And yet, from this vantage point, they all blend together into one smooth tapestry of light, stretching across the sky like a luminous highway. As you drift farther outward, the arm begins to thin, and the stars grow sparser. Ahead of you lies the Perseus Arm, a larger and more luminous spiral lane that circles the galaxy farther from the core. It's home to star nurseries so enormous they dwarf everything you've seen so far. And traveling toward it feels like floating across an ocean toward a distant glowing shore. But just before you reach it, something extraordinary happens. You turn around for a moment and you finally see it. The Milky Way, not from inside it, but from the edge. A colossal spiral of light. A glowing wheel of hundreds of billions of stars, all spinning calmly around a central, brilliant core. Its arms curl outward like long, graceful streams of stardust, each one filled with planets, nebulas, clusters, and cosmic stories unfolding over billions of years. The galaxy doesn't feel chaotic or overwhelming. Feels serene, balanced, ancient, steady, like a lighthouse guiding every star, every planet, every drifting traveler. From here, the entire Milky Way breathes with a quiet dignity. It doesn't hurry. It doesn't fight itself. It moves with a patience that could calm even the most restless heart. You feel small, yes, but not in a frightening way. More like a leaf floating on a peaceful river, part of something much larger, but still meaningful, still carried with care. Space around the galaxy is soft and dark, but not empty. You can see faint wisps of intergalactic dust drifting like smoke. There are other galaxies in the distance, tiny and gentle, glowing like fireflies. The universe feels endless but safe, open but comforting. And as you hover there at the very edge of the Milky Way, looking at the galaxy that holds your home, your memories, your entire story, something settles inside you. The thoughts that kept you awake begin to loosen. The tension humming through your body begins to quiet. The universe doesn't expect anything from you. It simply lets you be. And in that moment, floating on the outskirts of a galaxy so vast and ancient, you finally feel what the cosmos has been trying to whisper all along. You are allowed to rest. Drifting at the edge of the Milky Way, you hover in a space so vast and so quiet that even your thoughts begin to soften. The galaxy slowly rotates beneath you, its spiral arms moving with the patience of 1,000 lifetimes, each arc painted with billions of suns. And as you turn away from it, letting your gaze slip into the deeper dark beyond its luminous rim, you begin your journey into the open space between galaxies. This region is not empty. It is spacious in a way your mind has never experienced before. Imagine standing in the quietest, emptiest room on Earth, and then stretching that silence across millions of light years. The darkness here feels gentle, not threatening. It wraps around you like a cool blanket, softening every edge of worry inside your mind. Behind you, the Milky Way glows, a swirling city of stars. Ahead of you lies intergalactic space, the calmest desert ever known. You glide slowly into it, leaving the noise and bustle of stellar neighborhoods far behind. There are no crowds here, no busy clusters, no rushing particles. Just the steady heartbeat of the universe itself. The first companion you meet on this path is the large Magellanic Cloud, drifting like a quiet lantern in the distance. It's a small galaxy, a satellite of the Milky Way, trailing behind us like a loyal friend walking a few steps back. Its stars shimmer in patches, glowing blue and gold, clustered inside gentle spirals of their own. You drift past it the same way you'd pass a peaceful town glowing under its streetlights at midnight. Farther out floats the small Magellanic Cloud, another quiet companion. Together, the two dwarf galaxies move slowly around the Milky Way, like boats tied loosely to a massive, glowing harbor. Passing them feels like leaving the warm edges of civilization and moving into a wide, calm ocean with no waves. As you push forward, the galaxies around you become more sparse. Light becomes rare, precious, scattered. Distances stretch in ways words cannot fully capture. 1,000,000 light years, 2,000,000, 3, and slowly, gently, the Andromeda Galaxy begins to rise into view. At first, it's just a smear of hazy glow, like a cloud reflecting moonlight. But as you drift closer, it grows into a breathtaking swirl, larger than the Milky Way, brighter, stretching across space like a grand cosmic mural. Its arms unfold in smooth, sweeping curves, lit by trillions of stars. Blue clusters sparkle along its edges, reminding you of distant shoreline lights reflecting off still water. Moving toward Andromeda feels like approaching an enormous celestial city glowing in the night. But there is no noise, no rush, no traffic, only a quiet, steady radiance that seems to hum with ancient memory. Between the Milky Way and Andromeda lies a gentle gravitational pull, a slow dance that's been unfolding for billions of years. The two galaxies are drifting toward one another, not with chaos but with cosmic grace, patient and unhurried. Watching them approach is like watching two clouds slowly drift together in a peaceful sky. Past Andromeda lies the Triangulum Galaxy, a smaller and delicate spiral with soft blue arms. Its light is faint but elegant, like the glow of a candle across a long, quiet room. You float past it, feeling almost weightless, peaceful, suspended in the grand architecture of the cosmos. Soon you find yourself among the entire local group, dozens of galaxies scattered over millions of light years, each one shining softly in a sea of calm darkness. Some are round and smooth, others stretched like wisps of cotton. Each one is its own island of stars, carrying billions of stories, billions of moments, billions of quiet nights like this one. The farther you drift, the more the structure of the universe becomes clear. The galaxies begin to arrange themselves into long, subtle streams, cosmic rivers of light flowing through the darkness. They curve and twist in graceful arcs, forming the framework of something far larger. This is the cosmic web, the vast skeleton of the universe. Imagine standing above a foggy forest at dawn, watching the treetops form patterns across the land. Now stretch that forest across billions of light years, and let each tree become a galaxy. That is the scale you're floating through. The cosmic web stretches in every direction. Filaments of galaxies weave through the universe like luminous threads. Enormous voids, bigger than anything your mind can picture, lie between these threads like soft, dark valleys. But even in that darkness, nothing feels frightening. Feels spacious, open, calm, like nature providing room to breathe. You drift along one of these filaments, letting the gentle glow of distant galaxies guide your way. There is no hurry here, no weight of responsibility, only the soft presence of starlight scattered across unimaginable distances. And as you glide deeper into this vast structure, you feel something shift within you. You realize that everything that keeps you awake at night, every worry, every restless thought, is tiny compared to the cosmic expanse around you. Not insignificant, but small enough to be manageable. Small enough to be held gently, calmly, without fear. Here, in the quiet skeleton of the universe, nothing demands anything from you. You are allowed to float, allowed to breathe, allowed to simply exist in this moment. And as you continue drifting outward, the universe opens itself even more.